morning to you. Time check it is 7:30 this fine Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday this morning, and I'm so excited because it's the weekend. We get to rest, get to just enjoy ourselves. Yes, and that's what this Friday is about. You're tuned into WFM 917, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Fumi Bangala. And
I am Tom Okyo. Good morning.
Tori, what's going on this morning? Are you fine?
I struggle.
Oh dear, so sorry.
And you?
I'm fine. I'll try and be your ginger and your energy today. So I've already done. Thank God it's Friday. I was waiting. Oh, I was waiting for that this morning. But yes, I'll try and I'll try and channel your energy this morning.
Thank
So
you.
that's
Thank you.
all
Thank you.
right. Let's get into it. We have a couple of headlines this morning, and we're just gonna go straight into it this morning, starting with the Punch newspaper. Emergency rule, uncertainty in River State as Fubara delays return. Afriland Tower fire victims developed complications from inverter smoke, says officials.
Okay. And in this day of today, Senate urges FCT doctors to end strike, vows swift action on demand. 2025 budget, NAS demands withdrawal of contract circulars over delayed capital releases.
In the Guardian newspaper, and you will be seeing more of this in the headlines this morning, suspense, disillusion as Fubara fails to show up after emergency rule ends. Osun PDP wants suspicious letters on local government funds, on LG funds, case probed.
In the Daily Trust, Lagos building fire, survivors, experts blame slow response. And Wike, no law says Fubara must resume today.
In the Vanguard newspaper, once again, we have Rivers. Assembly resumes sitting. Fubara fails to show up. Lagos Afriland Tower fires. Death toll hits 10 as Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, Obasa, Obi, and others mourn.
In Tribune 2027, don't allow yourself to be used, Wike tells Jonathan. An MBA to Akpabio. Pendency of suit can't stop Natasha's Senate return.
Okay, in the Premium Times, we have Nigeria restates commitment to hosting Commonwealth Games, first in Africa. AFCC rearraigns ex-minister Agunloye for alleged $6 billion Mambila Power Project fraud.
In the Nation newspaper, again, NEC differs on state police deliberation adoption. Democracy cannot thrive without responsible, visionary leadership, says Jega.
In the Cable newspaper, we have immigration unveils first centralized passport center with 5,000 daily production capacity. Police fired, yes, police fired tear gas as traders protest power outage at Lagos Tejo Show Market.
In the pen pushing, Rivers State Assembly resumes sitting after 6-month suspension, asks Fubara to submit commissioner nominees, prepare budget. And Yahoo Boys, responsible for worsening visa restrictions for Nigerians, says Anti-Crimes Commission.
Finally, in the headlines this morning, we have Daily Post. Rivers calls for Ibas's probe Fikins. Call for Ibas's probe Fikins as emergency rule ends. We also have finally today, court stops Edo State, EDSIC, from conducting LG by elections. These are the headlines this morning, making the rounds in the national dailies. Dailies, stick around, please. Stick around with us as we delve into the headlines that we're going to be tackling this morning with our in-house analyst. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Fumi, and good morning, Tom. I hope you are enjoying the weather. Well, the rain has refused to stop, so I hope you are not getting drenched by it.
No, not getting drenched. How are
No,
you?
not at all. Not at
Uh,
all. Thank you.
that's
Good
good.
morning.
Good morning.
What are your plans for this weekend, Emmanuel? Because you always have plans.
Well, a weekend now, I think I don't have plan. I just have little work to just tidy up and put full stop on it and ensure that everything is in order. So basically, I would just spend my weekend reviewing some work and probably pick one or two stuffs to read.
Okay, please take out time to rest. And you
Mhm.
too, so please take out time to rest this
Mhm.
weekend.
What's your plan?
My plan for the weekend, actually, nothing, to be honest. Huh, that's interesting. I don't have any serious plan this weekend. I'm trying to think. No, nothing. I was going to see my parents, but we're in a state of an interesting state. So I don't know. I've said I'm not going to see them. I'm busy. So we'll resume our back and forth next week or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But
All
that's
right.
it. Anyway, let's get into it. So, do you want to take the first one?
Okay. This is on. Hold on a second for me, please, if you don't mind. Okay. All right. So the first report,
Mm.
Wiki said Nigerians are lucky. That Tinubu is tolerant of criticisms. Um, that's our Minister of the Federal Capital Territory in Yeson Wiki. He said Nigerians should count ourselves lucky to have a leader like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom he described as tolerant of criticisms. Um, he said it is only in Nigeria that a citizen would go on social media to describe the president as a criminal and expecting no consequences. Um, he cited, I think it was on Thursday, it was yesterday, during the flag off of the arterial road N1 in Wuye, and he was alluding to a recent social media post by Omoyele Sowore, who described Tinubu as a criminal. Um, Sowore cited a video where President Tinubu, during his visit to Brazil, said he had eradicated corruption from Nigeria, right? And Sowore now tweeted in response to the president's comment that this criminal at official PBAT, right, he tagged the president, actually went to Brazil to state that there is no more corruption under his regime in Nigeria. Sowore said, what audacity to lie shamelessly. And Wike said, look, even in America, where citizens freely criticize President Donald Trump, no one would go as far as describing Trump as a criminal. And he said, no matter how you see people criticize Trump, you will not see them, call him a criminal. Um, he, I mean, he dismissed rumors circulating on social media that he is also ill. But for him, it's a fact that anybody can wake up in the morning and abuse a president, and we don't see anything. So, Emmanuel, I know there's something called freedom of speech, right? And I also know that even in developed countries, climes where you expect to have freedom of speech, there's a little bit of you know, even journalists, still citizens are still very careful what they see. What would you say to what Wiki has said? Is Sowore right to have said that? Is Wiki wrong to have responded? What would be your comment?
For example, if I call Fumi a criminal the burden of proof is on me. And if Funmi, in her own right word, is not a criminal, she has to approach a competent court of law. And when she approaches the court to say there's a defamation of character on me, then the burden of proof to prove that Funmi is a criminal, the burden of proof, that's PROOF, to now prove that Funmi is a criminal, rests on my shoulder.
Mhm.
So all these shenanigans and dramas where there's governance to do about calling someone a criminal, I think it should stop. Because number one, we advise that the DSS takes the route of the law. And the DSS has approached the court,
Mhm.
putting for Showore in copy, putting X in copy, putting Meta in copy
Mhm.
to all this, saying that they need him to pull the tweet down and apologize. So I don't think Wike should revisit this thing. Wike is saying that Showore is lucky. What does he mean by that? Because see, when our leaders speak, they don't know that there's a context to a statement. They don't know that there's a context to what you speak. So why, when you are in leadership position, we always say you have to mind what you say is the fact that if a servant says something, there will be no context to it, but you are a leader. A lot of people are watching you. Different meanings will be read to it. So he's saying that he's lucky.
Emmanuel, he's not saying
tolerant,
that
and
Wike is lucky. He said Nigerians are
sorry,
lucky.
he said Nigerians are lucky. Sorry, I was saying Wike. He said Nigerians are lucky. Tinubu is tolerant because of Shore's statements.
Mhm.
See, let me put it to him the fact that he also in time past called a certain president, Olusegun Obasanjo, a failure. Has he forgotten that? Because it seems that they have short memories when they do.
Mhm. Mhm.
And he's making reference to Donald Trump. Before I even go for that, let me refresh his memory. That the same Donald Trump has called Joe Biden when he was in office different kind of names,
Mhm.
from Crooked Joe to Sleepy Joe, which became a tag on Joe Biden's. Even when Joe was diagnosed with, I think, prostate cancer, he never even gave him a breathing space. He still called him all sort of name. Biden also, what's his name? Trump also referred to former President Clinton with names. There was a time he even used criminal on then Joe Biden. Heaven will not fall. So when I see Nigerian leaders who assume office and turn to demigods based on the fact that there was a criticism, see, one thing in democracy is there's room for criticism, but when you criticize and use false narrative, you must be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that what you're saying is correct. So when you look at all these shenanigans going on, I'm asking the question. Though Tom mentioned when she asked the question that there is freedom of expression, freedom of speech, but your freedom of expression and speech is also limited, but it can be limited by a politician or of law that can take away that right from you. And what is the DSS doing now is approaching a competent court of law to express their displeasure at that tweet made at the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mhm.
So when this is happening and then he's telling us that Nigerians are lucky, what is it telling us? That are we not having opposition in the country? Is it telling us that you cannot speak against leaders? He's saying that if another person were to be the president, that he's not sure. Is it telling us that if he were to be the president, a lot of people who have spoken against Tinubu will have been picked up by now? Don't forget, I said something on this platform. I said most times it's not even the leaders you criticize, it's overzealous aides that want to please their tax master that does all these things. The leader doesn't even know that something sometimes is going on. It's just one aide that feels like he has been given power based on him being a special advisor or based on him being a minister. And don't forget, ministers are not elected. For me, I always say it, ministers are not elected. Ministers are meant to serve at the pleasure of the president. It's just like me becoming a class captain and saying I'm a class captain. I want to choose, what's it called? Assistant, what's it called? Representative on sports to the class, on social to the class, on this to the class. That's what happens. So when you look at it, ministers are not elected. Ministers don't, Ministers don't owe citizens because we never cast our vote to bring them into office. They serve at the pleasure of the president. That's why the president can wake up one morning and fire them and nothing will happen. Picks another one. Nobody will complain. So Wike saying all these things at this launch, I just feel like sometimes just go and do what you needed to do. It was there to commission a road. You should have just done what you needed to do and go back home and continue with his lifestyle. So when we have all this kind of shenanigans in play, I ask myself, where is the place of democracy? Because see, there are some utterances you don't put out as a leader, saying if we were to be another president, and then you now brought the wrong context, a Donald Trump that we all know. See, the US, if it were to be the US, there are some things the US president or US leaders will not do. So they should stop comparing themselves. If they are comparing to the US, they should give us the economy of the United States. If they are comparing to the US, they should give us what is obtainable in the US. We are struggling now. They're comparing us to the US, but the same US are calling people back for interview to revoke their visa. Ask Wole Soyinka that they gave 9/11 to come back for re-interview. Oh, Wole Soyinka. So these are the things they should be working about, not telling us the US. Okay, it's the US. Give us what is applicable in the US, and then we know this is the US. But we are battling with a whole lot, and then what we are getting is when something happens, you make context to world leaders who are superpowers, while we are still struggling to even take hold of West Africa. ECOWAS is breaking on our head. 3 countries have left, and then we are saying all these things. So I think for me at this point, Nigerian leaders should know one thing, that there's freedom of expression. But this is why we have different laws also that enables, that gives room to the fact that when you feel I have been defamed, you can approach a competent court of law. You can approach the court of law and then get a judgment, get get your image changed from ones who have actually defamed you. It has happened. We've seen cases of character defamation and or going to court. So when even a president is not above the law. We should know that every one of us in this country will live within the rule of law. Because when there's no rule of law, there's chaos, there's anarchy. And this is why there's no absolute power for anybody. What we have is separation of power, different arms of government to ensure there's proper oversight. So when even a president feels defamed, the right thing to do is to approach the court of law. Who says the presidency cannot sue? They can sue. The presidency can sue. Tinubu, before he became a president, is an individual. When he leaves that office, he resumes back to an individual. Stop bearing the seal of that office. So when Wike tells us that Nigerians are lucky, Mr. Wike, you are lucky also. You should know that he's lucky also. Because there are some kind of leaders that will not be tolerated in Senate climes he's comparing us to. It's lucky because if it were to be in the UK, we saw the way UK shifted prime minister within how many years, different prime minister, because the economy was not working. We saw the way the UK, the home, housing secretary, all of them, the Ministry of Home Affairs, Home Minister, all of them, some of them resigned because their policy was not working. But they are lucky also because it's in Nigeria that your policy will not work and you will remain in office. So when they say we are lucky, I think you should use the context that we all, including leaders and Nigerians, are lucky, and let us know that we live in a land of luck. So what he's saying is the fact that Showe has made a comment. Wike, you are not in the comment. You are not a party to the comment. The people who are sworn to protect the integrity and also to defend the president, no matter who is in office, the DSS, they've taken action. So must we see our leader, instead of doing governance, jump on everything that is happening? Some will say they respect him for the infrastructure he's putting up in the FCT and all. Fine, face the work. Do your job. You are not in the party. If Showe makes a comment about you, fine, you can go ahead. But we also know that you saying that Nigerians are lucky, you never tolerated opposition, Mr. Nyesom Wike. This is why the PDP up to today, they are dancing as Zonto up and down. They can't find their feet. So when you say Nigerians are lucky, you too are lucky. Because you are in APC. PDP is not working. You are one leg in the APC. You are also lucky because we saw what happened in Rivers State. So let us, all of us, let us be lucky at the same time.
Thank you.
That Weekend is also very, very lucky, because at this point we should always speak to luck. See, I sat down yesterday to watch I came across an interview yesterday that was going live on a TV channel, and he was speaking. And what he was speaking about was the 2022 PDP promise in 2025. How do we want to move forward? Saying he could have won, he could have done this. That has gone past. People have left that promise. People have moved forward. We are looking forward to better democracy. So what we should say is, if you say Nigerian citizens are lucky, the Nigerian leaders, the political class too, are also lucky. Because we know what is obtainable in Senate climb. So I think at this point, let DSS, let them take the lead. They've sued to court. Let the court rules, and then we know whether Showore is lucky or what he has done is actually, if cannot prove, it's actually
all right.
defied.
Good morning.
There's a call.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Good morning, women. Good morning, everybody in this.
Good morning, Evangelist
Thank
Dixon.
God.
How are you?
Thank God you are. I've already known my voice. I'm fine.
I've heard your voice already. Yes.
I swear it's miracle now. I've not been hearing from Miracle. What happened?
Well, Miracle has moved on to higher things. She's no longer with us. Yes, we are very happy for her, but it was something
that's our prayer for everybody, for everyone of you here.
Yes.
God bless you all. Yes, my sister, I've listened to what Emmanuel said this morning. I need to digress a little. As evangelist, like I always tell you, I'm a person that fear God. But Emmanuel, I disagree with you totally. Totally, I disagree with you. Is it morally right to call a president a criminal? See, I don't like Wiki for the way he always does things. That impunity and every other day. But is it morally like, can I wake up today and call my father a criminal no matter what my father has done? A president is number one citizen of a nation. For Showore to call our president, we can every one of us may not even vote for him. Some people say he needs himself and all the other. But number one citizen, have you ever had in any nation where somebody called number one citizen a criminal? Has any court of law confined him as a criminal? And what is wrong is wrong. Let us be right. Bible says, obey your leaders. Obey those who have been over you. So based on the Bible, it's morally right. Please. What is wrong is wrong. God really help us. If our leader, they can do anything and get it, but I believe God will ask them one day. So if Buhari have gone, yes, in Nigeria can do anything and get it, but one day God will ask, and that will come here with us anything. As I always say, let us always do the right thing. I've judged this country before in the fear of God. If I can do what I know is that you do what's right, everybody do what is right, I think Nigeria will change for better. But if you keep on doing the wrong thing and keep on praying to God, God will not hear prayer. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Thank you once for giving me opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Fumi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You are a family. That's why Fumi can recognize your voice immediately. And Emmanuel, it's good to hear somebody disagree with you for the first time.
Exactly.
That is a beauty, you know, of this. But I'm just quickly going to read a few comments, and then you can respond properly. So this is from Prince. Prince says, "My good morning, my people. Good morning." He said, see, Wiki matter shouldn't be a topic of discussion this morning. Emmanuel, I am sure that the DSS is aware that they cannot sue a person on behalf of the state president. I truly hope to see Fubara. I truly thirst to see Fubara never return to that office and get himself into the real estate of his followers. That's Prince. Then Olushoga Ajayi from Odonla Ikorodu says, Fubara's return is a welcome move because no state should live indefinitely under emergency rule. It undermines democracy. But the return of the governor and house only matters if they can genuinely serve the people without federal interference. If the root causes of the crisis, which is political godfatherism and power struggles, are not resolved, lifting the emergency may just be a pause, not a solution.
We have a
And the
call.
third one,
Tom, before you go
okay.
ahead, we have a
All right.
call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, it's been lost. Please do well to call us back. The number to call is 07000 917 or 9155 Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning for me.
Hello, Mrs. Oboli. It's lovely to hear your voice this morning.
How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Shulaya. Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. Good morning to Nigeria. Good morning, everyone. And Mr. Emmanuel, thank you very much for your analysis this morning. I want to say thank you so much. If I knew where you were, I would be sending you hugs and kisses. The reason I listen to you whenever you analyze, honestly, the reason I listen to Mr. Emmanuel whenever he makes the analysis is because of the balanced angle he brings into his analysis. You have said this morning that in as much as you understand the fact that what you already said is wrong, you understand the also place of freedom of speech. You said the president can pursue a defamation of character appeal, or he can go and seek redress. And Wike has no right. Sometimes when some of our ministers or politicians speak, I kind of wonder if they have selective amnesia. Honestly, Wike of all people should know that when he was in the opposition, he was actively participating in the opposition, and he said everything that came to his mouth, no holds barred, without caring whose ox is God. And now Wike is now playing to the gallery because he feels that the president is the one dictating the tune or paying the piper. See, honestly, Mr. Emmanuel, why I say I'm sending you hugs and kisses, you tilted the balance. You said this to this side, you said this to this side. And so that's why I'm saying you have done the utmost justice to this discourse. And I find that statement, Nigerians are lucky because President Tinubu is tolerant. I find it outrightly ridiculous. The reason is this. That statement, in that statement, I see a form of subtle threat. Honestly, is it threatening Nigerians? So if Wike were to be the one who is in the position of the president, he will do what Nigerians? Honestly, the crop of politics stars we have right now are lucky that Nigerians are docile. If Nigerians are not docile, this shenanigan and gross ineptitude and unwanted display of arrogance in the electoral sector, in the presidential sector, in all the sectors of life, maybe the executive, the presidential and legislative sector that Nigerians are tolerating on a daily basis will not be tolerated in Western climes. Somebody came from the West to call the politicians, they call them fantastically corrupt. I can't remember his name. Maybe Mr. Emmanuel, you help me. Nothing was done. You cannot be Satan and tell that child not to cry. I understand the sacrosanct position of the president, but please, if Sanwo-Olu is saying something, he's also a presidential aspirant. He has freedom of speech, but he should tailor it, and everything should be done in a state of equilibrium. So everybody has the right to speak or follow, but something that is wrong, they should go and seek a regret in court and stop loading it over us here. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, everybody. Madam Chona, God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you, Fumi. Bye-bye. Let me rest like this at this point. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli. I can understand your passion. What I think I need to also publicly say to you, as Tom would always say, that the way you come with your comments and your contributions, very measured, very polite. Like, we can tell that you're upset, but you do, your best, best possible best. I know that's tautology to just make sure that you are objective. We can hear that you're upset, but then you're not insulting. And this is a call to everyone who calls in. Please, when you send in your comments or you call in, please take a leaf from Mrs. Oboli's book. You can be upset. Nobody is saying that you can't be upset at what is going on in Nigeria, but make sure that your comments are respectful. You can deliver your upsetness in a way that we understand that you're upset, but you're not being insultive on this public platform. Because there was a message that came and I just started laughing. I said, is it me who's going to read this message? I'm not going to do that. But yeah, Emmanuel, over to, and there was something that
is it from our friend?
No, this is a new person.
All right, okay.
Don't worry, I'll send it to you to see. I was just like, what is this?
See, it could be our friend using another name, but do not let us give them attention. So, Emmanuel, over to you.
Evangelist Dixon, I understand your concern. You are a man of God. I'm also a child of God. And the difference
And
is
I am a daughter. I'm a daughter of God.
I'm a daughter of Zion.
You, daughter of Zion.
You are a man of God, and you will follow the scripture that says, love your neighbor as yourself. And love was mentioned. That's a commandment that was mentioned in the New Testament 8 times, and one of the most mentioned commandments in the New Testament. But the truth is, when you also love your neighbor, you need to speak to your neighbor. You spoke about the issues of moral. Fine, that is from the altar. But the law does not speak to moral. And for me, I speak to the law. I speak to the facts. I also have morals. That's why I have been very civil, because when you hear some of these things, it turns your heart, turns your soul, because you wonder, these are men in their 60s. They should understand how things work in life. But in Nigeria, I have to speak to the facts. And the fact is, Mrs. Oboli mentioned that someone said they are fantastically corrupt. That was David Cameron speaking to, I think, Afghanistan and Nigerian leaders. What did they do about that? If you don't know David Cameron, it was
Emmanuel. I actually think David Cameron was talking to Nigerians, not Afghanistan. He was
fantastically corrupt.
Yes, he was referencing Nigerians.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastically corrupt. He was. Yes,
that was around 2016 when it was PM.
Yes.
When you look at this, what did they do? When all this sanction comes upon us, do they have the morals to say that we need to help Nigerians? Instead, we blame everything on Yahoo boys. See, morals is not something you push to Nigerian political class, because they themselves, they don't have that morals. Only few of them live by that code. If you're saying that because Tinubu is an elder, Showore cannot talk. See, when you attain a position of leadership, if a 2-year-old boy can talk, and you attain a political position in any society, you are at the merit, or you are at the mercy of those who vote you in, because they are the people. See, leadership position is a service position. You are meant to be a servant of the people. And I think this is what even the Bible preaches, though I'm not a pastor. But I've understood from Sunday school that leaders are meant to serve the people. That is why Jesus Christ himself washed the feet of his disciples, never led them with authoritarian hand, but led them as a servant, and they followed him. I don't want to preach this morning because I don't have the certificate to be a pastor. But judging and saying that by moral standard, Showore should not have made a statement. Number one, Showore is an opposition leader. If you are saying by moral standard, what should have happened? When Bayo Ononuga, the essay, was calling a certain, presidential candidate, changing his name and putting PIT instead of PETER, who spoke out? Did we speak about morals? When we speak about morals, we enable Nigerian political class to run away with a lot of things. Because we say, they are leaders, you don't talk to them. They are leaders, you don't talk to them. Did Jesus not question the Pharisees and the Sadducees? In Acts 26, when Paul stood before King Agrippa, did he not say unto him, "O King Agrippa," and mention what was happening to him? So when we speak about morals, morals is given, morals is gotten. If you don't give morals, you don't expect people to give you morals. If you don't speak to Nigerians anyhow, that's why I say all of us, we are lucky. The leaders, the followers, everyone, we live in a land of luck. So the truth is, what Showore has done can be condemned on moral grounds. But what Showore has done, can it be condemned based on the fact that he's an opposition leader, even though we don't want to admit? But don't forget, he leads a political party and has contested so many times, even though when you wrap up all his votes, not up to 200,000, about 3 times. He will still come back in 2027 to contest. He will still be on the ballot. So you don't speak to morals when people are speaking, because we've not actually enjoyed that part from our leaders. So I respect your point of view and I respect your opinion, but this is my own standpoint.
So sorry to cut you, Emmanuel. There's a call.
Hello, good morning. I think you know my voice.
Evangelist Dixon, are you calling back?
No, yes, to correct certain things. Please allow me. Man, I want you to really understand me. Apart from using moral, even to call a person that is not convicted by law, court of law, criminal. If you say it's right, well, I will not argue, but I truly am not a fan of wicked, the way wicked do things and everything, impunity. But I've been criticizing. I'm not happy. Actually, I've retired for long. I've not been able to access my money. And it's not Tinubu that is not just working place, it's Nigerians. And that's when I come back and say, if we all can do the right thing, some of the time we say police, police, police. And I ask you as a driver, if police arrest you or last man arrest you, which one do you like? For the last time we start for 100,000, the police one, give police 100, they want to take, carry your hand and go. Let us all do the right thing. I'm asked not to criticize. Even if an adult do something, you can criticize, you can correct him. Fine, I didn't say, because it's an adult, it can be anything. No, you got me wrong. But calling me, somebody look at me and call me criminal without being called by court of law. Will I be happy? Criminal, which person has ever called their president in any country? Tell me, call the president criminal. So forget about laziness. If you don't believe in moral, and I told you everything you pay a leader, if they do have will over us, it's God that put him there. If they don't take God a minute to remove President Tinubu there, if God wants to remove it here today. Let me stop there for other people to contribute. I just God bless you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Evangelist Dixon, and I get your point of view and I get your stand, which I totally also have a lot of respect for. But as I've said, this is just an issue that when we put morals into, as you've said, you are also angry. Everyone is angry, but we're trying to be civil, and that's where our morals come in. But
I think we should just move on. We should move on from that story now. Yes, I think we should move on from. So this is a newspaper review on Women Radio WFM 91.7. 7 minutes after 8. There is another message here which I'm just going to read, and after reading, because we have to allow everybody to express themselves, and we still need to read their comments out. Hopefully, for me will come on. So this is from Mayor from Ikotun Igbe. Happy weekend to you all in the studio. Fellow Nigerians, Lagos State is becoming a terrorist state in the hands of Agberos, known as thugs. How can Agberos beat a full man to death? This criminal act happens in Lagos on a daily basis, even in the presence of law enforcement agents, and they look the opposite. In fact, they are out now in full force since APC came on board. Please tell Mr. President to stop making. Well, he's basically telling us to address this. Yeah. So that's Mayor from Ikotun. Before me, please, do you want to take the second story and then we can move on?
I'll take these two comments before that. Good morning, WFM crew in the house. Mr. Emmanuel, good morning. Please don't mind those who disagree with you. You're doing well in your analysis. Keep on with the good work. That is MC. Additional Wasiu in the corridor says, good morning to you in the studio. On River State and return of Fubara to State House, I hope both the governor and the state legislature are learning there. And kudos to Mr. President and his economic team. The Naira is appreciating. Yes, it is. And food prices are coming down. Yes. That's from Additional Wasiu in Ikorodu. Now, let's go to the next story. This one says, this is from the Guardian newspaper. We started treating this yesterday. Suspense, disillusion as Fubara fails to show up after emergency rule ends. River State's return to democracy ended in suspense yesterday as Governor Siminalayi Fubara failed to resume the office after the emergency rule, leaving Jubilant supporters disillusioned. It had been widely expected that Fubara, who was out of the country during the suspension of the emergency rule on Wednesday, would make a dramatic return to resume office. However, by dusk, he had not appeared at the Brick House or anywhere else in the state. Earlier in the day, the outgoing sole administrator officially ended his tenure and pulled out of the government house. Despite this, the premises remained largely empty, with only a handful of security personnel and essential staff present. A source within the Brick House disclosed that most workers, including members of the press corps and protocol officers, were denied access until the governor's formal resumption. Nothing is happening in that place now until the governor resumes. Many workers were not allowed to enter. It is just empty like during transitions. So what the paper also goes and say that supporters had been there by 7 a.m., as early as 7 a.m., despite the sun, to welcome the governor back to the office. And this gathering included top political leaders such as his former chief of staff, former council chairman, and were accompanied by musicians, dancers, masquerades, and entertainers. But as at 5:10 p.m., the scene had changed because the crowd that was jubilant dispersed in disappointment when it became clear the governor would not appear. Minister of the Minister of the FCT, Yesemuke, has announced that he's at peace with the governor, signaling an end to months of speculation over their political rift. Emmanuel, when I kept on seeing this story making its rounds, and the question I was asking is, why is Yesemuke such a centerpiece in all that is unfolding? And like our analyst yesterday, she said authoritatively that if it was her, that's Sumbo, I said yesterday that if she was the one, she will not return to the office. So this is interesting to see that Fubara did not return yesterday. But is this that is not going to return at all? We're still watching. I mean, Nigeria, if permit me to say, can be, like a bit of a film show where we don't even know what is going to happen. Action movie. One moment this is happening, the next this is happening. But I would like you to share your thoughts on this piece.
Well, Fubara is going to return. What they are doing is they are busy sharing the remaining political appointments. That's what is happening. Once they come to an agreement, you will see Fubara making his return. But what saddens my heart is the way they troop to River State government house to welcome him back. From what? From where? And they are youth. And I think youth in River State should get work. They have a lot of work. They should stop all these political having serious. That's when in those kind of in states like that, you see local government chairman having SSA to this or this kind. See, they should get work and get serious in River State. We are saying here that the emergency we should not have stand in the first place. They called 3 bands yesterday to come and man government house and be dancing, waiting for Fubara to return from where? That is the question. To return from where? Someone that we are fighting to nail, saying that his suspension, the emergency rule, didn't follow the rule of law. The legislators, instead of using normal vote, did their eyes and ears when they should have used individual voice votes. Everything went. We are saying that this is a challenge to our constitution. This is a challenge to the rule of law. And then the people we are fighting for are doing unfair. It's an irony because when you look at it, you return from where? Was it right to be suspended in the first place? Is he going to return as they say the old governor he was, where he commands authority? If I were to be in his shoe, I know I can. When I return, I don't have the authority because if any crisis happen again, I chop suspension. Because he has laid down the procedure. Was River State the worst state we had back then? What was happening? Just political gladiators fighting each other. We will impeach you, we will suspend you, we will impeach you, we will suspend you. And we talk of a more serious issues in Castina. We talk of more serious issue in Borno. Have we declared state of emergency there? And then they brought bands, about 3 of them yesterday, to come and dance, and they are waiting for the governors. They wore clothes, grown-up men. I think at this point, we should just leave River State alone because, see, I think they are made from another planet, the way they operate in that part of the world. But as you said, must Wike be the center of attraction? It's the media that gives him that power. Because without the media, nothing can be amplified. And he knows how to use it very well. One person that I give to that knows how to use media very well is Nyesom Wike. He calls a media pally every month. He goes out to media houses to speak and to air his mind. He doesn't care. So what will Governor Simi Fubara do? Will he come back and start giving speeches and say, I'm happy to be back? If you've been a prefect when you are in secondary school and the school suspends you, and then you resume back, will you return back with fanfare? You return back with your head down. Because you commanded authority before, but someone removed that power from you. And once they've done it to you once, they can do it again. So who controls River State now? That's the question. He's saying is Fubara in charge like the way he was in charge before he chopped suspension? Let me use that word. So the question now is Fubara is returning as what? As a governor. We see the same, is it with the same authority he left? So he has lost the battle because he fought his political godfather. And his political godfather, being a politician who has been in the system for so long and has a support-based system. See, one of the strengths of Nyesom Wike, whether you like it or not, is the fact that he controls grassroots politics in Rivers State.
Mm.
And this is Wike, that this is not his first fight. Wike fought Rotimi Amechi. Wike brought Odili into the fight. Wike is someone that knows how to do all this kind of fight. And for the first time that Wubara tried to go against his his political godfather, we saw what happened to him. 6 months. He went. What did Wike get? Wike got his House of Assembly members back in the chambers. Wike got what he wants. Wike got the local government election done with an interim governor. Who does that?
Mm.
A state administrator conducted a local government election. He got it all done. So why will Fubara return? Fubara is just returning to sit on that seat and bear the title governor. But my question is, does he still command the authority of a governor?
Mm. Mm.
He might bear the title now. They've given him his title back. But does he command the authority? Martin Awule's House of Assembly sat yesterday. They told him, bring back the list of commissioners. Come and renominate. Let us screen them. They have the authority now. Come and represent the budget. And you look at me and ask me whether we are living in a Fuji house of commotion, saying you should come and represent the budget September. When we are even complaining that federal ministries are getting budget July, we are fighting. Someone is saying, come and represent the budget. So you look at all these things and then you ask yourself, how did we find ourselves here? So if Fubara is not returning to the funfair, I understand. He might be a man of principle. But if I were to be Fubara, all those aides, previous aides I have, commissioners and all, that brought all those funfair, they would never, even if I don't have the authority of a governor, and I sit as a governor, and they give me 6 slots to appoint, they would never, because you can't be part of my show of shame. How will you bring funfair to government house to say we are returning? We are not returning back to democracy. Democracy never left Rivers State because Nigeria still runs a democratic system of government. So when we say democracy is returning to Rivers State, who took democracy out of Rivers State? State of emergency is still a provision under our democratic rule. But was it necessary in the first place in Rivers State? So the way they did it yesterday, just looking at them, they were doing it as if we're just coming back from a military rule, or we're coming back from a place where democracy has been disrupted for years and then bringing forth funfair. Come on, Rivers State, you can do better. We look up to you guys.
Mm.
So this is just the thing that has happened. So Fubara returning now. Well, he bears the title executive governor of Rivers State. But can we say His Excellency, or we just say it in title, or is truly an excellency now?
Mm.
Who runs Rivers State? Martin Awule is back. That is Wike's team. Now they are slugging it out to see how they can get commissioners and all those positions. Who takes the juicy position in his cabinet? Don't forget that before this crisis started, Wike's boys owed most of the juicy position in his cabinet. Minister for Finance, Attorney General, all of them, before they resigned. And the Wike, I know, he might still tell them that they have to come back in that cabinet because they are his eyes. They allow him to see what is happening. So Fubara is back, and so what? Fubara is back. Who are those that organize the funfair to go and dance? When we questioned that was the state of emergency right in the first place, where were they? Where were they? Now, these are just political opportunists who are political jobbers, who don't have a real job, who are trying to dance. You know, see, when you hold political office, you have to be careful because, see, there are some people, their job is political jobbers. See, if Fubara had not been returned and Wike's person had been put there permanently, these same people that were dancing yesterday at broadband, they will go back to Wike to go and prostrate. It reminds me of Tunde Skilani Shaworede, Balogun and Seriki, that switches behind anybody that comes into power. They always have an idea of that person can run the town just to remain relevant. So at this point, Fubara should just come in. The power he has, if the power is still much, he should use it and help develop Rivers State. Because the people who have suffered in all these things are people who left their houses to go and cast their votes for him. There are people who put their trust in him. There are people who are not asking for anything, no political opportunity, and just give us the dividends of democracy. These are the people who have suffered. So if he's coming back and he still has any power within him, he should ensure that the last few years of his administration is just for these people. Fubara is a technocrat. He's not a politician. He was brought in as a technocrat. He's not a politician. And he played the politics and it went bad. It reminds me of someone also in Lagos, a technocrat that was brought in and played the politics and it went bad. So you have to be a politician to understand how a politician mindset works. They don't work like an average technocrat human being. They are not for profit. They are not for development like that. They are for power. And Fubara has played and he has been the victim because he lost. I will say it. Those some will say you won't know. He lost. Now what he'll be doing is maybe he'll be joining the APC. Only time will tell. But as it is right now, Fubara has played the game, he has lost, and I would boldly say it, Wike has won. And Wike is a politician. He has been there for so long. And he has learned from the feats of some great politicians that has passed through this climb. And he picks up lesson, give it to him. He picks up lesson. And that's why it was so bitter when Atiku Abubakar beat him to his game. So the problem now is Wike owns Rivers State. He has won. He's now the political godfather in Rivers State. Fubara has succumbed. Welcome back to government as Governor Fubara. But the question is, are you still the same governor that left? Do you still have the power? Or you are just a governor by title?
Thank you so much. Carry on.
You want to ask a call? You want to ask?
No. I wasn't asking. No.
I just wanted to ask Emmanuel and see what happened to Fubara. Could it have happened in any other sane climb? I mean, it's like somebody telling an MD of a bank to step aside, and then you recall him back, or an MD of an organization, and you recall the person, or a head of a department, and you recall them back. Would there be any form of respect? Would the person have confidence to perform the duty? What happened? Could it have happened is it democratic? Okay, let me even leave democracy out of it. Is it right? Is it right what has happened to Fubara? Is it right? And is it a lesson? Is it also a lesson for anybody who is delving into politics that you have to be careful what you do, what you say publicly, because you could just be brought down in a jiffy? It's demoralizing, isn't it?
The truth about it for Fubara is the fact that whosoever owns River State owns a lot because of the funds in River State. And Section 305 was used to declare a state of emergency, but not all the provisions of Section 305 was met. And the question is it right? I said, no, it's not right. It's not right. Because we have a whole lot of states that are in jeopardy. Let me use Benue State as an example. People were killed and all that. Nothing happened. Borno State, nothing happened. See, Rivers State is a plot to a greater political calculation. Politicians seize power. Technocrats seize profit and building. That is why when a technocrat is suspended, let's say from a bank MD, he moves to another place, starts building again. But as a politician, power is what makes them relevant. A politician without power is useless. So all those people that follows Fubara around before he was suspended, Fubara walked alone, just like they say you never walk alone in Liverpool, but Fubara walked alone during those periods. The same people that sang that they will never follow Yesom Wike, Fubara was our leader, were the same people that sang again for Yesom Wike. So that's when Jonathan said he felt betrayed in politics. I laughed because Jonathan attained the highest political office in Nigeria, but he didn't understand what it means to be a full-fledged politician. Maybe you can take a class from Bola Ahmed Tinubu's political school.
All
So
right,
when
Emmanuel,
you
we've
look
run
at
out of
this, it's
time.
not right at all. And I think at this point, that's why I said I don't know whether Fubara will return with full authority or he will just return with a title in office.
And they-
Don't forget, we have a governor that the name of the state starts from K in Nigeria that has to answer to his former boss before he makes any decision.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for your comments and contributions. As always, a delight to have you on the show. With that being said, we have come to the end of the Full Breakfast Show. We've come to the end of the newspaper review segment of the show. Today was quite interesting, to say the least. My name is Fumi Bangwala. As you go out, please have a wonderful weekend. So,
Have a wonderful weekend. So on Monday, Nigerians are submitting. There were petitions and signatories for the reserved seats for
yeah.
women, and I understand that we have gathered. We have gathered about. Can you hear me? We've
Yes.
gathered about over 1 million signatures. So we're taking this. Nigerians are taking this to the Senate President. They're taking it to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and then they meet at Transcorp. So they leave. They converge at Miriam Babangida National Center for Women Development, and then move to the Senate and then to Transcorp. So Women Radio is working. We're having meetings and working with them to see how we can handle the media for that. So we're preparing for that. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. Yeah.
And also the countdown for VOW 2025 is on.
Yes. 13 days. 13 days from today.
Days to go. Yes.
13 days. Like my Ghanaian friends will say, 13 days from today. Yeah.
All right. Have a great weekend. Stick it up for even more information. All right. Bye.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.